This is the plaintiff, Bonnie Wolverton. She says the defendant, her ex-boyfriend, whom she once lived with, unfortunately, was very insecure and did crazy things which she couldn't deal with, like hiding a tape recorder in her car to hear her conversations. She ended it. He still owes her $2,445 in loans she made to him, and he refuses to pay up. This is the defendant, Paul. He says the plaintiff's a nightmare, and she's still removing things from the apartment they once shared. She even has to have a police escort because he doesn't want to deal with her craziness any longer. It's funny, because if anyone here still owed money, it's not her. He's accused of being too possessive. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $2,110.17, the amount he's owed for back rent.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says her ex was so controlling he secretly recorded her when she wasn't with him. She also says he owes her money. He says she is crazy and possessive. It is the case of speak into the mic.
Thank you, Douglas. Bonnie Wolverton, you are suing Paul. You've asked us not to mention your last name for a series of items, a TV, microwave, silverware, pots and pans, literally, all kinds of furniture, and your portion of a security deposit, or the entire security deposit, because according to you, after your breakup, he is withholding these things from you that are rightfully yours. You are counterclaiming against her $2,100 and some odd dollars for rent that you say she still owes you. How long were you two dating?
2 years.
2 years. How'd you meet?
Know each other from back in high school.
Oh, wow. And then you reconnected?
Yes.
How? Through social media?
Yeah, through Facebook.
Of course you did. All right, so what happened? Why did you guys break up?
Differences between each other, trust issues, insecurity issues.
Whose?
His.
He didn't trust you?
No.
Did you ever give him a reason not to trust you?
No.
Did someone else before you give him a reason not to
Yes.
trust? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So what happens? You two break up, and was it amicable or not?
No, I came home Mother's Day and the locks were changed on the door.
The locks were changed?
Yes.
Okay, and whose apartment was this? Yours or
It
his
was
or both?
our apartment.
Okay, were you both on the lease?
Yes.
So how was he able to change the locks? Did you call the police?
Yeah, the cops were called. They told me that I had to take it to court. And we had to take it up with the landlord.
Wait a minute. Is your name on the lease?
Yeah,
normally they tell that guy it's a misdemeanor to change the locks.
No,
they didn't tell him that?
No, they told me I had to take it up actually with the landlord because the landlord is the one that gave him the permission to change the locks.
On what grounds?
Because he told them that I had moved out 2 weeks prior to him re-signing the lease.
Had you moved out?
No.
He told the landlord that?
Yes.
Oh, in order to be able to get permission to change the lock?
And change the lease. I never got a 30-day eviction notice to leave or anything.
Gotcha. Okay, so then what happens? This?
Yes.
Okay, what's going on? She says that the TV, the bed, the silverware, the microwave, that these are all her things and that you've kept them.
She's been in and out of the apartment since she left, which, by the way, she did leave.
When did she leave?
She had broken up with me in January and hadn't paid me any rent since then. I found out in January. We used to pay rent separately. I'd call in my share, he called in hers. In January, I found out from the property manager she hadn't called in since October with her share of the rent.
And she broke up with you in January? Or you broke up with her?
She broke up with me in February, said she was moving out.
And then did she move in with somebody?
The plan was to move in with her sister who lives next door. February became March, became mid-March, became April, became mid-April, became May.
Okay, but when did she move out then? Had she moved out or she hadn't?
May 10th is when she first spent the first night out of the apartment.
Okay, and when did you have the lock changed?
The next day.
And then did she know you were going to change the lock or did you do that as a little surprise?
I did that to protect myself.
So you did do it as a surprise?
I was told
Protect yourself from what?
She had told me more than one occasion that by the time she got done, the only thing left in the apartment would be me and my cat. And she had done it before with a previous relationship.
That she would take everything?
She was going to get there when I wasn't in the apartment and back up a truck and unload things that she thought were hers.
She told you that?
Oh, yeah.
That's a ridiculous thing to tell somebody.
It wasn't the first time.
It's kind of, yeah, but what's the whole, how are you going to steal stuff if you let them know you're going to steal stuff?
Out of anger. A lot of rage there. A lot of rage there. A lot of anger.
So then you did it to her before she could do it to you?
I protected myself.
How did you protect yourself? Is all this stuff yours?
Half the things, including the bed, I've told her she can take.
Okay, so what are the things you've told? Hold on. What are the things you've told her she can take?
I told her she can take all her utensils, all her pots and pans that are worn anyway.
Who does the TV belong to? That's the biggest ticket
The
item.
TV's mine.
How is it yours?
First, it started out as being a birthday present for me.
Was that your birthday present on your birthday? Yes or no?
It was a month before my birthday. It was going to be an early present.
Did you get a present on your birthday?
No. She actually
So it
wasn't
was
even there on my
understood that
birthday.
this was your birthday present.
Right.
What else did you say to her she could have so we can get?
It's her microwave. It's all hers. It's a $40 microwave. It's not something from the Chinese dynasty.
What
or
else?
anything.
What about the end table?
They're old and worn. She can have them.
Great. What about the coffee table?
She can have it.
Now, what about the rent and utilities?
We would share expensive. I would call in my share of the rent each month. She would call in her share of the rent each month.
So the answer is 50-50.
50-50.
Okay, all right. So
50-50.
it's supposed to be split in half
Yeah, the
every
rent,
month.
the
and the
utilities.
rent was supposed to be split in half every
Right.
month. Okay, is that accurate?
In the beginning, it was accurate. We had to change our way of paying things because I went out on disability. I had to have emergency surgery, so I didn't get my disability right away. So he had to pay for everything.
So what did you do with the rent and the utility that you're supposed to be paying when you didn't have the money to pay for them?
He kept it up. We were behind on rent. When I got my disability,
So he
I
kept it
caught
up,
the
and
rent
was there
up.
an understanding that you were supposed to pay? Because you were getting back disability, right? It was disability.
I actually got it all at one time.
Right, all at one time,
Yeah.
so that includes the past.
Yeah, so
Right.
I paid.
So did you pay him back for your portion of the rent and your portion of the
no,
utility?
I paid the back rent up.
So he never paid your portion.
We got behind on the rent.
He didn't pay your portion then?
Not always. It was either
Okay,
pay the rent or
did
pay
you
the
ever pay him back for the portion he did pay?
No, because we changed over. He was paying all the rent, and I took care of the utilities.
The utilities don't equal the rent.
No.
So
But when
you're
I put-
counterclaiming against her that she owes rent for when?
She stopped paying her share of the rent in October. I didn't find this out until January when I talked to the property manager. It was at $1,200 at that point, and the property manager made it pretty clear to me that they were going to be looking at eviction. I made a deal with the property manager at that point that I would pay the full rent, and I would work with Bonnie to get her share. I never got a penny. January
Starting
through
in
May
January,
when
you
she
never got a
moved.
penny.
No.
But the back rent she paid. October to January,
Not
she did.
all of it. When she got her federal income tax, she was up to $1,100. She still owes $431.90, which they're taking out of me.
$431.90?
Yeah, a copy
Okay.
of the lease
I need to
have.
see proof of what you paid because that's part of what he's suing for. Can I see proof of what you paid the landlord?
They never gave. They took it off our debit card, and we called. They never gave us.
Then show me your
receipts.
debit card where I can see that your landlord took the entire
It
$1,100.
might be on my bank receipts.
Okay, so take a look at it.
Oh my God.
Because your testimony is that you paid all that back rent. By the way, have you paid any rent to either the landlord or to him since January?
No,
Okay, so January, and you stayed there from January to when?
till Mother's Day.
So when you move in with somebody in a relationship, do you, as you go along, establish when you buy stuff, I own this, you own that, we own this?
I think being in a committed relationship, you're kind of agreeing that it's mutual and both things are each other's. So if anything happens, you just kind of got to either sell it or, give it to whoever deserves it.
But is it a good idea to kind of establish things as you go along or just kind of let it ride the way he's saying?
If you let it just go by, it'd be much easier, less tension, and you'd have less chance of a mistake.
Unless things don't work out and then you have to divvy it up, right? Going inside the courtroom.
All right, security deposit. Let's discuss that. Have you spoken with the landlord about the security deposit?
Yes, so first of all, we shared the deposit. It wasn't
So
her
according
money,
to you,
it was our money.
she did not. When you say our money, according to you, what is it you're saying, that she didn't put the entire deposit?
No, of course not.
That you put half and she put half?
I put half and she put half. It was
Okay.
50-50 from day one.
Okay. And you've described it as 50-50, so why should I believe that you paid all of it? Do you have proof that you paid it all?
Well, it's on the old lease, and I don't have the old lease. They wrote everything on the old lease, and I paid cash.
Okay, I got it. What is it you wanted to show me?
Excuse me, can I? All right, the back page is where I signed the new lease. If you see underneath it there, that's the money I'm paying back extra every month towards the money she owes when she left. In other words, I'm paying my rent plus an extra $100 to cover her.
Okay. Did you show me the receipt for the TV?
I have the invoice on my phone.
And the TV was purchased when?
1 second, I can
Was the
find it.
TV a birthday gift for him, yes or no?
It was a gift for the house, is what it was.
Oh,
'cause
no,
he
but
took
that's
my-
different from a birthday gift for him. Was a TV a birthday gift for him,
No,
yes or
it wasn't. It was a TV for the two of us because the TV
When
I
is his
had, he
birthday?
sold. His birthday's November.
When was the TV purchased?
in August.
Was the TV purchase in August?
It was supposed to be an early present.
As for the following items, you've already agreed that she can pick up: the coffee table, the wooden table, the pots and pans, the silverware, the microwave, and the bed. The things you are contesting are the security deposit and the TV. As to the security deposit, he doesn't have your security deposit. Your landlord has your security deposit. You need to sue your landlord on that, not him, okay? So that you're not getting clearly. And as for the TV, I find that it is not a birthday present. There is insufficient proof that it's a birthday present. So I'm authorizing her to pick up the TV as well as the other items that we've discussed, and the security deposit, you don't get that from him. You can hack that out with your landlord. Now, you're suing for $1,550, which is half of the rent from January to April. And you're suing for 10 days in May. Then you're suing for the $431 that the landlord's taken out of you.
Right.
The $431 is from when? From what months?
That was the remainder of, she owed $1,100. When she got a
In
federal
January.
income tax, she paid a portion of it, was supposed to pay it all, but didn't. That's the remainder of what she owed from the back money she didn't pay.
So
between
why did you
October.
use any of your income tax to pay for the rent if, according to you, he was supposed to pay all the rent and you were going to pay $100 in utilities from October on?
Wait, I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I know, because that one's going to be hard for you to snow through.
That was to get the rent caught up.
Why
that we were behind.
Why though? According to you, the only reason that somebody is unknowingly paying $795, paying half the rent, which is how much? Three what?
It was $400 for me, $395 for her.
Okay, so somebody is just paying $400 every month, even though he's talked to you, knows you're not paying your half, and is supposed to be paying your half, and yet, could this be any clearer that you're lying about that part of the case at least?
I am not lying.
Okay, I find that I do not believe you on the issue of I magically no longer have to pay rent when we don't start getting along, okay? So on your claim against him, you're entitled to go pick up your stuff. We're gonna make arrangements through Officer McIntosh for a peaceful time when this can happen. We already discussed the security deposit. Now let's discuss your lawsuit against her. Because of what I've just explained about what I believe to be the responsibilities between you two, I am finding in his favor in the amount of the $2,110.17 that he is suing for. That's $1,550, or half the rent from January through April, and for the 10 days in May, and the $431 you owe him back rent from October to January. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
So in a very involved case that probably tested the patience of the judge. Bye-bye. Let me ask you a question. Very simple. You still love him?
Yes, I do.
Is there a possibility of getting back, or is
We'll
it
have to
really?
see what the future holds.
You think
We're
there's
trying to get along. I mean, we
Really?
couldn't. Yeah.
So there's a possibility.
Yeah, we've been
right.
on talking terms. We're doing, take it one day at a time.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now here comes the defendant, who actually won big here. You got your $2,000 in your countersuit. How do you feel about that?
I just found out 2 days ago I've got malignancy tumors in my colon. I lost my mom and sister to the same thing. In my grand scheme of what's high on my priority list, this is so low, I can't tell you.
You know, I believe you. You still love her?
I do, but there was a lot of things that went on that I didn't talk about in the courtroom.
So is it over, or is there hope? Or do you not care?
When you bring family in, like her sister, for instance,
Yeah.
and now it's going to start all over again. They're right next door. If I could leave tomorrow, go to a new place, I would. Finances are tricky, so I'm going to deal with more harassment, things of that nature.
Thank you very much. Okay?
All right.
Nevertheless, congratulations.
Thanks.
Okay. Harvey, what do you think?
Okay, Doug, I know it is uncomfortable to do, but it is simply a good idea to establish financial ground rules on who owns what the responsibilities are when you move in with somebody and start that relationship.